PropStream just did a massive overhaul on their entire system, and they just changed the way that they do data, and they just overhauled everything with the new power of AI and a bunch of new tools. And what I want to do today is really share with you exactly these new changes coming to PropStream, aka ListREI.com. And really I want to share with you exactly what this new AI and all these features are. So if you are currently using ListREI.com, or if you're going to use it, something for you to know about these big, massive changes going on with PropStream. So let's kind of look here behind PropStream and kind of see this big, massive AI announcement they just did, and really see what this means for us wholesalers and what this means for us. And so they just see right here, PropStream announces innovative new features and predictive AI data sets. And it seems interesting. You know, it says the future of real estate is here, and if you're not keeping up, you're left behind. And basically what it's saying here is we're changing our real estate data. As you know, they got bought out a couple of years ago by Stewart Title, which is a massive company, hundreds of millions of dollars that they bought it for, and they put a lot of money into here, and they're making some cool changes. And you know, I'm reading this article for face value, seeing what they say, and then we're gonna go inside of ListREI.com PropStream and really see the big changes. And you know, this announcement kind of came a couple weeks ago, but what I wanted to do was really get used to it, start pulling data, start trying to get deals from it, so you really know if this data is really good or not. And so basically for face value, what they're announcing here, PropStream are charging in Revolution for the real estate data, and we have these upcoming enhancements: predictive analytics, improved data speed, wider data coverage. They say improved accuracy, advanced data analytics, and all these things. And the first phase was a big UI, UX facelift, which basically means it looks nicer and sexier and I guess more modern. They've had PropStream for a while here, so not too crazy, but they did kind of change what it looks like if you haven't had PropStream for a while. We'll show you here. And basically they're reintroducing their subdivision comping filter, and they're doing what we call an ADU calculator, which we'll go over and show you. I've been playing around with it for your land wholesaling real estate deals. It's actually been pretty cool, and we'll show you after this what it is, but they say they've only scratched the surface. And obviously you can read these articles here, what they say, but pretty much what they're claiming here is they have these new data points and predictive analytics by AI. Now, as you know, PropStream, ListREI.com is a real estate investing software company. So it's not just for wholesaling specific. It is kind of more broad. That's why Stewart Title bought it. It's more of a broad real estate software. So some of this is going to be for like if you're buying rentals and things like that, but they still care for wholesalers, and they got some interesting information we'll show you. And so skipping through all this mumbo jumbo, I'm just being honest, you know, it's kind of a corporate announcement. They say with AI and machine learning, they're going to have enhanced valuation modeling, which I think it's kind of cool, right? They're going to enhance the way that they're valuing the properties on PropStream. I mean, they're a lot smaller company than a company like for Zillow, for example, but I found their valuation to be way better. So I'm pretty impressed by that. And I think it's interesting, you know, full disclosure, I've kind of looked through this new announcement. I haven't seen like this insane, like perfect valuation, because I don't think any company has perfected ARVs for real estate software, but it's not bad. And I have seen some improvements on it, right? The demographic data is something new, which I'll show you, which is kind of a thing that Batch Leads and Deal Machine has had, right? I've always wanted PropStream to have this feature, which, I mean, you know, ZacData.com and DMZac.com have had forever, which is nice they're finally doing that. They're claiming new lead lists, which we'll show you today on it. They're doing photo AI analysis, which, you know, I'll be honest, I think every new real estate software is going to have this in the next 6 months or so. So I don't think it's this crazy innovative thing, but it does seem like it's something interesting. We'll break that down. And then they're predicting property scores. And we actually saw DMZac.com kind of start this out first with their building code grading. And it's kind of interesting to see how like all these big softwares are like copying each other. So it's very interesting. So Right here, it's saying increased accuracy, improved agility. So basically what they're saying is, let's just kind of read this one. Who wants to spend time building a lead list just to find out the data is inaccurate? Nobody. Real estate is a fast-paced industry, and in minutes, a competitor can snatch up an opportunity on your radar if you're not agile and up to date on what's happening next. Because of this, we've updated our platform with state-of-the-art algorithms and data validation technique to ensure the highest level of accuracy, compiled with UX and UI updates to make using the navigating PropStream even easier. Our goal is to increase your confidence in making decisions. So that's all great. I mean, we got to kind of go in there and look and see if it does. And they're claiming here more market wider data coverage, basically saying they'll give you more market trends, property valuation, which I think is the most important part. I like this. They said they're going to increase their bankruptcy, lien, and pre-foreclosure data. That's pretty interesting. So I'll show you kind of what I've seen inside of listirati.com on this. MLS data, I've seen a big difference in that, which is pretty cool, and local demographics. Now, the Property Insights is a coming soon feature. I am looking forward to that and see what they can do. So they have some more enhancements in here, and they, free trial. Go to listirati.com for that. Their FAQ, they're saying that the biggest update on the data sets that we anticipate. So this hasn't happened yet. They're saying they anticipate it because I've gone through all these with a fine-tooth comb, and some of them have changed. They said bankruptcy, MLS, lien, pre-foreclosure, MLS. So really lien and pre-foreclosure are going to be the most important thing we see here. We'll see how often is PropStream data updated. We get this question all the time. Daily and as often as the data is available. So that's kind of in my opinion, pretty broad. But I think on a weekly basis, the data is updated, but pretty much they claim daily. And they say that PropStream is using predictive AI. Predictive AI refers to the use of machine learning algorithms and data analytics techniques to forecast future outcomes or trends based on historical data patterns. So, I mean, it's a big bunch of, hey, we're using AI. Now, is that a sexy word to say? I don't know, but they did make some pretty interesting changes, and I'm already seeing the AI make a big change here. And I mean, I've already seen DMZack.com implement AI in a different way and doing well. I see every software kind of doing this, so I don't think it's like this revolution, but it's something we should keep an eye after. So I am giving you a full analysis of this really quick. And so basically what listirati.com has something called an ADU calculator, right? And that's basically an accessory dwelling unit calculator, which is a bunch of big mumbo jumbo stuff, if that makes sense. But pretty much what that is it gives you kind of an analysis if you are building something, right? An additional dwelling unit. I mean, that's how I always look at it, but it's accessory. But pretty much, again, the definition is a second residential unit that shares a building lot with another home. So it can be attached to the main structure or detached. And I'll kind of just show you exactly what it looks like. Now let's just go inside of it. I think it's a lot easier than just reading it. You guys can read the calculations here, and I can show you what that means. Now, something that I've been wanting forever is the subdivision comping to come back to listirati.com, and I'm very excited it's back. And so basically what this is, you're comping with the subdivision. So with the subdivision, it is a neighborhood in the city or particularly in a zip code. And really what I've always told everyone, but this is just basically how real estate appraisers appraise data and appraise properties, is pretty much the power of comping, right? The power of using a subdivision. And so when a real estate appraiser goes out here and sees the value of a house to appraise it, they look at comps in the subdivision, and listirati.com always had this, and they got rid of it, and now it's kind of coming back. But basically they're comparing within the subdivision, and they're giving you more data in the subdivision, which is super important, right? And this is all stuff we kind of had in the Property Appraiser website, but stuff like zoning codes, building materials, architectural design layout, amenities, infrastructure, property type, developer reputation, market trends. Pretty cool. You can do it within the subdivisions. So they got a little video on it. You can actually enter in a subdivision and only wholesale in a subdivision, which I think is kind of cool, but I mean, it's not the biggest deal for me. Really, if you're comping, then put the subdivision in it, and I think that's pretty gangster for comps. I'm really hoping every single person does this. really all the softwares. That'd be kind of cool. Pretty cool. You can go try it on there. I'll show you what it means in there too. On top of this, if you're big into creative finance, they have a new mortgage recording date filter. I mean, if you're interested in when people are recording mortgages, it's important, but really not for us wholesalers. They also have the demographics, which you're probably used to if you use ZachData.com or DMZach.com, but you can now filter out a data set based off of housing type, percentage of renters versus owners, which I'll show you what that looks like. Someone's income, their average income, their employment level, income brackets, population, household composition, education level, and commute. Really, is this like a game changer? I like it. It helps me before I go in the appointment to see what's going on with the seller, but I don't really ever target anybody based off of demographics. If I have a rental property, then yeah, this is important to me. But really, like, this is kind of a little too much in my opinion. I know some people go after someone who's like older. I've never done that really, but I've seen people use it. Now let's go inside of ListREI.com here and kind of show you what's new. Let's see if AI has changed everything. I don't think it's like this massive, like, oh my gosh, the world has changed type thing, but it is something to look at. So let's pop up like San Antonio, Texas here and kind of show you the new stuff going on here. So the filtering, you have your quick list choices here, right? Pretty much everything is the same as you can think. You can do more demographics information and you can do more kind of filtering, but pretty much everything's the same. So if I go by liens here, I do like the way that they do liens. I have found that the data for liens is a little better. So for example, I click this property right here. I'm getting all the information. Now it's giving me information, right? The county, purchase method, which is kind of the same I'm used to. I'm getting information about the seller. Hopefully YouTube doesn't take this video down. And I'm getting just some good information that I usually don't have. So I'm getting subdivision tract number. I'm getting subdivision name, which I'd probably just copy Oliver Ranch here. HOAs in here and all that stuff. And so we're getting better mortgage data too on here, which I think is important for subject to deals. But for liens, this is pretty cool. We're getting more information like interest rate, judgment entry date, court case number, which is really cool, creditor contact information, the document number, which it was kind of hit and miss back in the day, which is a lot better. If you look here on the MLS information, this is also a lot better. I'm actually getting listing URLs now, which is massive. I'm getting the office phone numbers. I'm getting more information about a broker. So if I'm looking for cash sales and buyer's agents for cash sales, this is huge too. We've kind of had this, but just not as good. More listing history stuff, which is really cool. Now, comparables is cool. I love the subdivision comping. So if I go to property details, I want to go here to the subdivision, Oliver Ranch. Now let's test this out. I can try it right here. I might have to do the number. Let's see if that works. So boom, now I'm in only the subdivision. It gives me comps only in a subdivision, which this is how you should be doing comping. This is really how you should be doing your comping. Absolutely amazing. Property type. There are a little more analysis on here. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot. Demographics information. Now this is for the market area kind of. In this subdivision, what type of housing? It's all single family, mostly owners, not renters. Household income, income brackets, population by age group. You see a lot of young people, a lot of people own houses, families. Commute, highest education. I mean, this is a little too much in my opinion. Tax information is pretty cool. Mortgage history is, I mean, pretty much the same, but no really insane craziness. I think you kind of see the UI, you know, the user interface type thing. It looks a lot better, right? You get a little equity. It's got a little meter right here. I think that's kind of cool. Nothing too insane though. The tools here. And so we've always had the rehab calculator here from Blue Hammer, and we can always kind of go out here and rehab the property and get the calculations. Now I wish they kind of did it in-house here. But we can kind of estimate the project costs, and then it's a 3-2 going here, and features, materials, what it needs. It gives you a rough rehab calculator. That's always pretty cool from PropStream. On top of this too, it has that ADU, which means if I'm going to build upon this property, what would the cost be? And this is okay if you bring it to like your cash buyer, but like, I don't think it's like this insane thing. Now, if we're doing land, that's kind of cool. But let's say we're going to add a detached 400 square foot shed in a good quality with HVAC and laundry, like a mother-in-law suite. It gives us an estimation of $153,000, the cost of it. Is this gonna like change the world? I don't think so. I mean, it's kind of cool. For the average real estate investor, I think this is really good. For us wholesalers, not insane to me. If we kind of increase it goes up a little, I mean, 50 grand, that's kind of crazy. And then we're kind of go back into here. We got high equity, we got filtering, we got all this great stuff. Let's say I keep going in here. Everything pretty much when you go in here seems the same, right? I mean, the UI is a little better. Listed below market price. I mean, pretty much ownership information. You have the ability with the pre-probates, but that's kind of always been in there. Pretty much the same as you're used to before. Kind of the interest rate type has always been there, but I think it's a little better than it is before. But really, I'm still waiting on some crazy things, right? So like a pre-foreclosure property here. Let's see if they give us some more information here on this. So we go into the pre-foreclosure details and it's kind of the same as before, but just a little more data. So maybe it's that machine learning working in here. You have the document number, notice of trustee sale. You see the lender here, the auction information, which is kind of cool. Trustee information and the amount the loan is for, which is a lot. I mean, this property is way too much, but you get all the documents on there. You can see it's on the MLS right now. It got removed. Demographics, tax, linked properties are always in there, reports, stuff like that. So pretty good analysis on here. This feature here is pretty cool. So let me go back and just show you again. You can kind of do a property analysis. This is new too, where I click analysis and I can see the notice of default. You see the interest, estimated market value. It's gonna be a personal or investment. I can go and see if I buy the property, what would a mortgage be? What can I make in rental income? Which I think is really cool for if you're trying to analyze what a cap rate would be if you're selling a rental property to a cash buyer. You go out here and figure out the expenses of it, the sale if you're gonna flip it. I think it's kind of cool. So you can kind of see what the cost of possibly fixing the property up, the finishing on here, and you can kind of do a mortgage analysis, a rental analysis, property sale. It gives you all this data, what the return would be, cap rates, informations, and a little PDF report. That's pretty cool too on here. But like, I'll be honest with you, like, is this the most game-changing information in the world? Probably not. Like, this isn't like blown the roof off of real estate wholesaling data, but still I'm very impressed with it. And really they are making good strides. Now their analytics is pretty much the same as you're kind of used to. Time will tell because they are kind of still working with the AI and the property analysis. Pop up one more picture here. See, I'm trying to pop up a picture here and see where that photo AI thing is. I think it's coming out, so I'm not trying to like say it's here or not. So they definitely have announced some big things. I'm still waiting on some more things to come out and I will keep you updated. I want to give props out here to listrei.com. They're actually trying things. They're implementing AI and they're actually going in here with a full head in and trying to make a change. I think it's pretty cool. The data is amazing. Now I have tested out my data sets and gave it a couple weeks, and I'll be honest with you, like I found pretty much the same results. I haven't seen like this, oh my gosh, this AI has changed the way I pull high equities, hasn't changed the way I pull the vacant property list, right? So I haven't seen like a 60% increase in the amount of leads from this data set. I've seen pretty much the same. I mean, maybe slightly better, but again, I'm making more money than ever in wholesaling, so I think it's fine. But really the high equity, the vacants, the liens, like the things that I use listrei.com for, I haven't seen like this massive change. I think the demographics information is pretty cool, but really like has this changed, increased everything and made them the leading software everywhere. I still think they're pretty much on par with any other software possible. I really do love their data, and they are definitely, if I'm pulling a direct mail list, probably one of the foremost softwares I'm going to be using. It's neck and neck here with kind of them and dmzack.com. Like their data set is amazing here, and I will say they have a lot of R&D to back them up here. So PropStream is an amazing data set to have. They still have the Drying for Dollars app. Absolutely love PropStream on this and want to give them a shout out here. So they're making some crazy good changes here, and I'm very impressed by this. We have to wait and see exactly how all this new changes are going to happen in the next year. But big changes are happening if you do have PropStream. So I want to kind of make an announcement with that big change they're doing. And let me know, guys, in the comments what you think of this. If you want to try out PropStream 7 days for free and try some of the best real estate data in the game for wholesaling real estate, just go to listrei.com right there and you can try it out 7 days for free. And then again, if you want to learn exactly what to do once you pull the data, you know, the scripts, how to talk to these sellers, I do have a completely 100% free A to Z course, the only free course in the wholesaling real estate game. You want to check it out, just go to freewholesaling.com and make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. This is Zach Kin signing out. Have a blessed one.